Let us always bear in mind that a healthy nation is anchored on a healthy and sound natural environment.
The administration of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte is very notable for his promising initiatives for the environment. Some of his significant works for the environment is the rehabilitation of the world-famous tourist destination, the Boracay Island. The rehabilitation of Boracay helped restore the island to its near-original state, noting that its rehabilitation is a huge success as this event also addressed water pollution, solid waste accumulation, and encroachment in Boracay's wetlands. Kruhay! This is Rodel Cordero Esler and welcome to Basuraology TV. The Duterte administration also sought to restore and rehabilitate the Manila Bay. The main activities for this rehabilitation were clean up Manila Bay and its tributaries, relocating informal settlers there, and educating the public on solid waste management. Aside from Boracay Island and Manila Bay, the Baguio City and other tourist areas in the country are also sites of rehabilitation works to prevent further environmental degradation. Since the assumption of PRRD as president in 2016, he has declared several times that his administration will give priority to the protection of the environment. In his third State of the Nation address in 2018, he has declared the protection of the environment as the top priority of his administration.
The protection of the environment must be made a priority.
With this term coming to an end, people are looking forward on what are the plans of the next administration for the environment. Will the presumptive President Bongbong Marcos or BBM continue the same or more than the energy and commitment PRRD has for the environment, or will he take a different path? Issues such as mining, air and water pollution, water management, waste management, and climate change remain to be the major environmental concerns confronting the Philippines. The presumptive president also has announced that part of his priority program is environmental protection and preservation. Here are several factors and areas that the upcoming administration seeks to pursue that the Basuraology TV has collected and identified. First, institute policy reforms and programs which will create a peaceful balance between economic development and the environment. According to the presumptive President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., nature has its right that should be protected. It should be allowed to flourish, reproduce, and attain its abundance, side by side with human civilization, in perfect balance and harmony with our growing communities. We should do this if we want to safeguard the most vulnerable members of our society from the onslaught of natural calamities. Second, create the Department of Disaster Resilience as an effective disaster resilience model that integrates many other agencies. Marcos explained that it should be integrated into the agencies like the Department of Science and Technology or DOST for the forecast of the weather, the local government units or LGUs for the preparedness, Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD for response, and National Economic Development Authority or NEDA for rehabilitation, and among others. Third, promote reforestation and push for stricter anti-illegal logging laws and institute the creation of industrial forest plantations to supply market demand for wood. Fourth, in mining, the Marcos administration will implement a collaborative relationship with all stakeholders to make sure that mineral resources will not be abused and will help in bringing back the economy and the onslaught of the pandemic. Fifth, create the Department of Water and Resources Management to make sure that clean and potable water is available to every Filipino. Sixth, create an ecology-based disaster risk reduction program that should be addressed from the point of view of environmental degradation, especially in forests, wetlands, coastal and marine, and dry lands. And finally, focus on solid waste management, including waste-to-energy programs, as it will be an income-generating initiative for the administration. With the said plans, it is best to believe that the presumptive President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. sets his eyes on the protection and preservation of the environment. The Philippines' rich biodiversity is under threat, mostly from human activities. Ineffective management seriously degrades the country's significant natural resources and may destroy the economy. Taking everything into account, if these plans and suggestions will ever be materialized, they can greatly help the Philippines solve and prevent future environmental problems. Also, to make all these possibilities become reality, we must not only rely on the government, but also we need to do our job as citizens by following the existing laws in preserving our environment. Whatever our political colors are, let's just hope and help the next administration to be successful in preserving and saving our country from the different existing and future environmental problems. Because here in Basuraology TV, we always believe that a zero-waste living is a healthy living.